Hey YouTube world, how's it going? This is Kyle Lewis, Kyle Louie here, bringing you guys another LTV. I hope you guys are excited because I know it's been a little bit since I've uploaded. For that, I'm sorry. I did mention in my previous video on Sunday that I will be uploading today, tomorrow, Saturday, and Sunday because I'm off the rest of the week. So the days that I'm off of work, I will plan to upload. And so they're going to be kind of like sporadic. Um, not it's not going to be it's going to be kind of inconsistent. So I hope that you guys can bear with me on that. But I will upload because I love doing this. Um, if you've been with me since the beginning, you know what I do. So hit that like button. All right, smash it. I know before I said don't hit it because I don't want you to break your button, but smash it. That way I know that you love me and that you appreciate what I'm doing here. If you are new here, my name is Kyle Lewis or Kyle Louie. You can call me either of those. And this is Kyle's vlog. What I've done here, what I do here, is I just bring up life topics. I talk about life things. Things that I struggle with, things that I've worried about, things that I've gone through, experienced, things that I just want to do what I can to share words of wisdom on that in hopes that you guys can find some encouragement in and be inspired. Um, I know we all can use it. And I mean, I'm no professional, I'm not perfect, but I've been through a lot. And instead of hiding behind it or not talking about it, I feel the need to share in hopes that you guys can feel comfortable in being strong and being confident in yourself in the ability to share what you're feeling, because if not, when you keep it in, it can be very unhealthy, and I wouldn't want that for anybody, because that's exactly what I did. I find it a lot easier to talk about it, and so that's what I do here. But I also bring up fun topics as well. So there's a little bit of serious, a little bit of funny, and if you like conversational stuff, topics, then by all means, subscribe to my channel. I would really appreciate it. I love that. Um, Please continue to share my videos, guys, if you feel there is a need for someone to listen to, a specific one in general, or if there's something that I haven't done yet, comment down below and let me know. I can fit it in and put it in for the next video. But as for today, I'm going to I'm going to share with you guys my testimony. And it might be a little touchy in some parts. You guys might feel like you don't want to listen to it. But I've been pretty outspoken about who I believe in. And I believe in God and Jesus, and everything that they've done, everything that they're doing is, I mean, I know some things may seem real scary right now, but I know for me that God is with me, and I know for a fact that God is with you, even if you're not willing to accept it. Um, but with everything that's going on in this world, it's very scary, right? A lot of people are turning to anger and fear and hatred. A lot of people are pushing out what is good. And I mean, I don't know what your experience is in religion, but I feel that having a relationship with God is extremely important. Um, and I mean, again, you may or may not believe in Him, and that's okay. I mean, for me, I feel it's important to be connected with Jesus, because um, without Him, we're lost. Without Him, we're not ourselves. Um, at least I'm not my full self if I don't look towards Him. If I don't pray to Him or call to Him or whatever it is, I just know that He's there and He's always going to answer. Um, But with everything that's going on, the pandemic, people losing their jobs, um, the racial Lives Matter stuff, everything that is going on right now in this world is causing separation. And so I want to shed a little light um, in hopes that maybe this can help you. I've talked a lot about Jesus on here, Easter Sunday, Good Friday, all that, because um, it's important for me to share. And if there's one of you that's receiving it, that's what matters to me. It doesn't matter. I mean, um, that at the end of the day, um, I just want it to be received. I want Jesus to be received from you and by you, because life without him is very scary. Let me tell you. Okay. So I'm gonna do what I can to not. I'm gonna talk about some of the negative and the bad that I dealt with in my upbringing, but I'm also gonna talk about um, how I called him into my life, how I prayed for him, and I asked him to come into my life and my heart, and how I've felt ever since. Um, and maybe you guys will feel the same way, or maybe this will encourage you to kind of open the Bible. That's definitely what I hope for. In times of frustration and anger and scary stuff, the Bible is what is really important, or the Bible is what we can turn to. And so, um, yeah. Um, all right. So, uh, I've been to church. I've been going to church since I was a kid. Um, I think about, yeah, pretty young. It was a family thing. Like we all wanted to do it. My parents didn't force it on us. Like they weren't like you have to go. They were like it's up to you. But of course we would love for you to come along. And of course I not only grew closer to Jesus when I would do that, but I also would grow closer to my family because we would bond on the same thing. We would grow together spiritually when we would go. Um, but of course, as a kid, there was a lot of there was a lot more questions than answers that I had, because when you're trying to figure out who you are, and I've mentioned that on here before, but when you're trying to figure yourself who you are when you're young, you do learn a lot from your elders. You kind of take away from what they teach you, and you supply that to your character. But um, I've like I said, I've always gone to church. Um, I've always well, I've always believed in Jesus. I've always believed in God. But there was a little time, and this was after I was baptized at 10 years old. I fully accepted him into my life, wash away my sins, clean me, O Lord, is what I said. Take away all my pain and my frustration, all the sins that I've committed or I will be committing. That's what happens. It cleans you, and He cleans you, and um, it it got really hard in middle school, and I mentioned on here before that I was bullied. Um, so I would go to church, I'd go to school, and at times I'd bring up Jesus in school, and some people would listen and talk to me about him and hear what I have to say. But there were some people that didn't like it, obviously. Um, and but when I was bullied in middle school, it wasn't for that. I think I was just bullied because I was an easy pick. I was very um, I was a small little chubby kid, and I was in some special education classes. I have ADD, which is a learning disorder. I a little bit sometimes um, like academically, like it's hard for me to concentrate, and so I would always have to sit up in front of the class for me to pay attention. So that's a solution in that. And that's how I learned and applied myself to learning and being better. But that became a problem. People were definitely coming after me for that. Um, and so I kept praying to God. I kept saying, God, what is this? Why am I go why am I going through this? I'm going to church, I'm learning about you, and I'm going to, Sunday school and speaking off of what I feel and how I feel about you and what you've done for me, and then all this stuff is going on right now. And so, I was questioning him, and I was also just kind of like, I felt like I was being um deceived. Um but I the bullying thing wasn't Jesus. Um, the bullying came about because these guys chose to pick pick on me, and it was very hard, very sad. I didn't go home. Well, I did go home, but I didn't talk to my parents about it because we were going through some other stuff I've mentioned previously um, on here, and it was really hard. Um, I was going through bullying. My grandma had breast cancer. We had found out um, that year that she was um, that she had cancer, and and then there's some other issues going on, um, and so it really hurt. It was tough for us. I mean, I still went to church with my dad. We would still talk about it, about how we felt about the message, all that. Um, and for some reason, it was just evil was just entering my head, and I was starting to doubt um, Jesus' power and His love, His mercy. And when I was really depressed in high school, um, now I mentioned before that in eighth grade I was fine. I was over what happened to me at sixth grade. I sprout up like a tall guy, so I said I wasn't gonna allow anybody to to get picked on like I was. I was gonna come to their defense. And my mom will tell you she's gotten phone calls. My dad got phone calls from the principal's office saying that Kyle was in an altercation. Now I didn't go looking for fights. I just, if someone was picked on, I would stick up for them. Um, and it it wasn't like, I mean, my parents were proud of me for that. But again, um, high school was a whole new ball game basically, and I had to relearn everything again. But then frustrations came back into my head of the bullies and the teachers that would talk down to me and make me feel terrible about myself. Um, I I did go to a bridge, and I mentioned that here on another video. And I was gonna give up my life. I was so frustrated. I was praying to God, but things just were getting worse and worse. And then when I was at the bridge, I called out to Jesus. I said, God, I know you are real, but everything that is going on right now is hurting me, and it's hurting my family. And but for me, it's like I'm pushing people that I love away and people that love me away because I'm just so in the dark. And I just need you, Jesus, to open my eyes and to reveal yourself to me. And He did. And He also spoke to me. And some of you guys might be like, okay, that's weird. But He does. Jesus does speak to you. God does speak to you when you pray to Him. He just talks in the only, He just talks to you, or He answers in the way that you will understand. And so you got to be willing to listen. You got to be patient and understanding, and not so much as be afraid if something was to come about. But That's how I've always looked at it, is that I've prayed to God and He's going to answer when He sees fit. And of course it's going to happen when it needs to, when I need it most. But when it came to me at the bridge, I was done with life. I was so hurting, but that would have caused more pain, and I would have ended my life, and that would have been it. And so I said, Jesus, please reveal yourself to me. And God spoke to me. He said, I'm here. I've always been here. There are times that you've pushed me away, but I've never left your side. But if you accept me fully with your whole heart, and you go with me on this path that I've paved for you, now it won't be easy, but it'll be better. And I remember my grandma saying to me before she passed away, we were just saying our goodbyes, and she said, don't worry, God is with you. And yes, you're going to go through the bad, but you got to go through the bad to get to the good. And it's kind of like what Jesus was saying when He was speaking to me. And so I said, Jesus, I'm sorry if I've gotten lost along the way. I don't want to be lost no more. And I fully accepted Him into my heart. Yes, I was baptized early on, but I think what I was missing was that I was being baptized because my family wanted me to. They didn't force me, but I did it because they wanted me to. Everybody else did it, and it wasn't really fully for me. And so I don't know if all those challenges and stuff that I went through were something that just made me grow closer to Jesus, but obviously it did. And due to that, I've always wanted to help people. I've always wanted to. I've either wanted to be. I've wanted to be a counselor. I've wanted to be a pastor. I've wanted to be able to, like a life coach, and help people, encourage people, lift people up. And as a minister, I can do that in the Salvation Army. I can do all that, and that's what I'm working on. But if I can do a little bit right now, that's what I aim to do here. I know it's hard to believe in someone that you don't see, but it's kind of the same thing about, true belief is from the inside. It's not always seeing first, because if that's the case, you're only going to be seeing and wanting the things that you want to see. But like I said before, God's going to answer your prayers in the way that He sees fit, and the way that you're only going to see it. You're going to only understand it, but you got to be willing to understand and take it. But yeah, I mean, I've always believed in Jesus, but there was also times where I questioned Him, just like Peter denied Him 3 times before He was crucified. I mean, I'm not perfect, like I said, but I have a life because of Him. And He took away that worry that I've been having when He took my place on the cross. And so that's what I aim to do. That's my testimony. I've been through a lot, even when I started to believe and started to learn about Him. But once He came into my heart, it was full on. Jesus, I understand things may not be easy. Things are not. That's the thing about life, is that it's not easy, and it's not going to be. There's this picture out there that has a straight path, and then there's a picture of you with Jesus, but it's like silhouettes. So it's like kind of like a bird's eye view almost, or side view of someone walking on a path straight. The other path is straight, no problems, no issues. And then there's also the path where you are with Jesus. Now, the thing about going on that straight path is you're only going to go based off of what you believe in and what you want to believe. And that may not necessarily be good for the soul. But if you walk with Jesus, and yes, you're going to be challenged, but Jesus is not going to let you go at it alone, and he'll be with you. And that's how I've applied him. I've applied myself to him, and that's how he's shown himself to me. I'm not gonna lie, guys. I've gone through things. I've questioned. I've been angry at him. I mean, when I lost my dad, I was so heartbroken. I felt cheated. But the thing is unfortunately that's part of life. We all eventually die. And I want to be able to go and see my family again, be reunited. I don't want to be lost. I don't want to go to hell. I want to be up in heaven with my family. And I want to be able to see Jesus and God and be of new. That's what is promised. So that's my testimony. That's why I believe in Jesus. I hope that maybe this encouraged you guys a little bit. I mean, it's really up to you and your choice, because God gave us free will. God gave us free will when he died on the cross for us. So we can choose how we want to live. But it's the choices, like I said, that define us. And so if we choose to do bad or go against Jesus, it's going to dig us deeper. It's not going to be good. But if we have full belief in Jesus and we admit what we've done wrong, he will wash that away. He'll forgive us. He's already forgiven us. But we have to forgive ourselves too in order to move on. So, I hope this was encouraging to you guys. I loved sharing this. You got to know me on a personal level even more today. Next vlog will be a little bit more fun. That way, we'll laugh a little bit too. But I feel like with everything that's going on in this world, being separated from people are trying to take out Jesus. I'm trying to bring back Jesus in. So feel free to share this video. Comment down below if you agree. If there's any negative comments, I would not recommend you to comment, because if you do, I will delete you and I will report you, because it's not okay. I want us to come here and agree and talk and not fight, because that's what's going on in this world, is fighting. I'm not saying this stuff to come across like I'm judging. I mean, you may not believe in Jesus, but you may have good morals. I just feel for me that it's not going to feel as, I don't know, it's just not going to feel the same if you're not doing it for Jesus. So anyways, I hope you guys are doing well. I thank you guys for taking the time, whether you clicked on this video in the morning, afternoon, or night. I thank you. Thank you for being patient with me. I do appreciate you guys. You guys are awesome. Again, like, subscribe, share, and I'll see you guys in the next vlog, okay? Kai Louie out.